Attending the Asian Financial Forum is Ksenia Yudaeva of the Bank of Russia, and she joins me right now. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today. Really looking at the currency crisis in Russia, do you see that ultimately being alleviated in 2015?
Recently we saw a considerable decline in the oil price. It declined by about 60%, so certainly it affected Russian economy and Russian currency, because Russian economy depends on oil and on rather raw materials quite significantly. However, I think that we see at least some kind of local stabilization of the oil price, and it also brings stability to the Russian exchange rate as well.
Gradually, it's a tighter economic policy that you have all around, is that right?
Well, it's tight in monetary policy, but not as tight as would have needed to stop exchange rate depreciation, right? So there is a trade-off there, and we tighten policy to prevent inflation rise, but we allowed exchange rate to depreciate, and through this give a space for economy to adjust.
And really, so far as the Russian economy is concerned, how do you see the sort of near-term performance? I mean, do you see this as being pretty well the same as in 2014, or do you expect actually something of a recovery in 2015?
In 2014, economy was actually quite stable, right? We had not very high, but still some growth. And given that most of the shocks happened in the very end of 2014, so probably the beginning of 2015, we'll see some decline in GDP. But what we think is that it will be much milder than at the end of 2008 to 2009, because if you remember, then Russia had quite a significant recession, right? The overall decline in 2009.
Ksenia, bringing you now to Asia, and you're here at the Asian Financial Forum, what is the sort of investment outlook that you have for this part of the world, particularly through Hong Kong, for Russian investment actually?
Well, I actually think that this is the right moment for Russian and Asia, particularly financial markets in Russia and Asia, to sort of turn faces to each other, right? Because Russian companies haven't really explored the financial market in Asia in the last, 5 to 10 years. Russian companies were much more active in Europe. But importance of Asia, importance of China for the Russian economy is growing.
So does that mean that you rate Hong Kong certainly as a center, financial center, that is well regulated, and therefore it's sort of one of those centers that you want to do business with?
Yes, absolutely. We view it as one of the global centers, and the center with a huge potential, and we would like to explore the possibilities of full integration with Asia and more cooperation with Hong Kong in particular.
And attending the Asian Financial Forum, what's your impressions of the forum that you've seen so far?
I was actually quite impressed. I think that this is a very good venue where investors from all over the world can come to discuss a global issue and Asian issues, right? And to learn more about opportunities here in Asia and opportunities for cooperation between a Hong Kong market, Asian markets, and other parts of the world.